Imagine if you spent your entire life training to become the world's greatest assassin. Everyone knew your name. You were considered the most dangerous person alive. But out of nowhere, you find yourself being hunted by elite spies. And suddenly, you get sent to another world. And once you arrive in this strange new land, you discover you were summoned by a certain young lady. Let's say she's rather enticing, who wants to make you her husband. She assumes you're completely powerless, so she decides to let you live off her generosity. All she really needs is a husband so her dad will stop nagging her. But she's no ordinary woman. Aside from being, well, extremely well endowed, she also happens to be incredibly strong. In fact, she's one of the most respected generals in this world. So, what would you do? Would you tell her the truth that you're a highly trained killer? Or, after a lifetime of violence, bloodshed, and survival, would you just give in and enjoy the easy life as the Empress's kept man? Honestly, I'd be tempted. I'd probably go back and forth on it. But what's our guy going to choose? At this very moment, the story shows us he's still being chased by the assassin guild he once belonged to. During a chase, there's a sudden explosion. And then we cut to the Empress performing a summoning ritual. She declares, "In the name of the spirit that dwells within me, I summon a servant from a different time and space." Suddenly, someone appears on her bed, head covered with a cloth. The figure removes the cover, looking around and wondering, where are the people chasing me? He glances around, confused, trying to make sense of the situation. But we already know who this troublemaker is. It could only be our protagonist and the Empress who summoned him. That's Swan. She leans on her hand, clearly disappointed, seeing that the man she called forth looks like just some regular guy. Meanwhile, our shameless boy is already blushing, thinking, gorgeous. That angelic face, that flawless skin. She's like a wild, untamable ocean, a force of nature with an unbeatable spirit. Can't really blame him on that one. Then the Empress sighs and mutters, "You know what? This actually works out. You'll save me a lot of trouble." Choan, still lost, asks, "Who are you? Where are we?" She spreads her arms and replies, "I am the Empress of the Great Yang Dynasty, and from now on, you're the Prince of the Realm and my husband." Our boy just stands there completely bewildered, looking like he got hit in the head. She clears her throat and continues, "Yep, you heard right. Some of my advisors were begging me to marry. I didn't want to be pressured by that annoying minister, so I summoned you for political cover." Our guy's eyes start to sparkle. He's practically glowing. He asks over, saying, "I don't have to do anything here. Just be your husband." She shrugs. "Pretty much." And of course, the shameless rascal flops back onto the bed and invites the Empress to join him for a little quality time. But she shuts that down real quick. She explains that unfortunately, she won't be fulfilling any wifely duties. But she promises he'll never need to worry about food, clothes, or money for the rest of his life. She'll even find a way to remove the slave ring that got embedded in him during the summoning. Then she tells him to meet her in the Imperial Hall and leaves the room. Shawan just sits there, stunned by her commanding presence. He looks down at the ring and thinks, "Then this is the contract ring she mentioned. As long as I'm under its effect, I can't do anything to hurt her." That's when the long-awaited system finally appears and asks, "Would you like to activate the most powerful supreme system? Yes or no?" Our guy goes, "Wait a second. I travel to another world and I'm being offered an overpowered system on top of that." Of course, he says no. Yeah, I really thought he'd say yes too. But hey, our boy knows what he's doing. Then he starts talking. "I was adopted as an orphan when I was a kid. I had to kill and train non-stop just to survive. Because of the assassin guild I work for, I didn't even have a say in who I took out. Wanting to be the strongest, I already walked that path. I'm done. What I want now is right here. Is there anything better than being a pampered prince with zero responsibilities?" He sits down, satisfied. But then the system goes, "Because you declined, we'll now erase your memory and move on to another candidate." Shirao Tan just stays it down. And then the system starts glitching. System log happy smiley. Sign failure. Attempting to disconnect. Sign failure. Trying to forcibly bond with user. Sign failure. Host belongs to ultradimensional plane, Earth. Entering parasite mode. Sign failure. The system is bugging out hard. Trying every trick in the book, and nothing works. After 9,999 failed attempts, it gives up and pleads, "Can I at least be your assistant, please?" Our boy just stands there thinking to himself. So now this thing won't be my system anymore. It'll be my slave. Now that I can agree to. He decides to give the system a name, one cow. Immediately, the system warns him. Dear master, please hold your breath. Otherwise, there may be unnecessary consequences. Shoin's confused, but the moment he takes a breath, the nearby plants start disintegrating. The system panics. No, don't do that. Suppress your power. That's when he realizes he's become a bit stronger. He asks the system to explain what's going on. The system replies, on Earth, people are bound by 490,000 dimensional rules. That's why you're so overwhelmingly powerful. Our guy asks, so, how many dimensional rules does this world have? The system answers, 3,000, which means he's 470,000 times stronger now. Naturally, Shaoan wants to check out his status window. And what shows up? Turns out he has the bloodline of the ancient Chinese dragon descendants, a bloodline so rare and powerful, the system doesn't even know how strong it truly is. Big guy decides he wants to try out his power a bit. So, he heads to the martial arts training hall. He spots a rack of swords and casually grabs one. I'll test it with this, he says. But before he even finishes the sentence, the sword snaps in his hand. He mutters, TCH. This Empress sure doesn't take good care of her weapons. The system chimes in. Weapons in this world are ranked from 1 to 9. That one was ranked 6, so it was a pretty decent weapon. He grabs another, more carefully this time, using just his fingertip. Gives it a look and goes. This one looks all right. As soon as he touches it, crack. Shattered again. Our guy gets frustrated and chucks it aside. All right. Message received. At the very least, I'm strong enough. Doesn't matter if the weapons are garbage. Not like I planned to kill anyone this time around anyway. He walks out of the hall. Time skips. The next day, he wakes up and notices someone lying beside him. He's got very good company. Startled, he asks, wait, did we?